Listen, everybody gets to listen to what they want to listen to. I mean, hey, you know what I want to do? Listen, calm down. Gat, could you please give me the mouse? All right, cool. Look at this. I found this cool ass podcast back when we was in Steelport. It's actually pretty good. It's called Get a Life Podcast. Come on, boss. No sing along right now. I'm about to listen to the Get a Life Podcast because I want to. Oh, now since Shandi said it, we can do it. Ain't this a bitch?
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of the Get Life podcast. You may be thinking, what? This is episode 4 already? Yes, it is, because last episode was an episode with the lovely manga people at Mayamada. They do some really nice manga, Samurai Chef and stuff like that. It's pretty much like manga, but with animals, which is quite interesting. And now we are on our second discussion type episode, and we're going to be discussing Free. So I'm going to hand it over to Tyson, because he's like...
The free enthusiast? Is that it?
I don't know. It's whatever you like to call yourself.
PhD
I don't know.
in theology.
Okay. I believe I should take responsibility because I was the one who suggested Free. I kind of did it on a whim because I wanted to know what was all the rave about on Tumblr about this certain swim anime. Like, okay, so what are you guys talking about? Oh, so it's an anime called Free with Toby Swinkler, and it has like hot guys and like, can a guy watch that? A heterosexual male can watch that? And at least my friends were like, I don't know. I just watched it for the guys, and I'm like, that's my story. That's how I got involved in Free, and then I found it quite enjoyable. Like the fan service didn't bother me as much, but you know there may be some animes out there that focus way too much on the fan service. Free is not it. Like it has its moments, but it has its moments, but it's not like overtly in your face about it, which is what I like. Also, I don't know about you, but there seems to be some sort of perception that sports anime tends to be boring if it focuses especially on the sport.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's a stereotype, but I somewhat agree with it because I've seen other sports anime, and I'm like, this is boring, and I don't want to watch people playing basketball. You may be thinking what anime I'm talking about. I don't want to name it. We do have these preconceptions in our mind, and I don't think we should kind of adhere to those, especially when we're watching new animes. And that's what we should kind of say beforehand, like, whatever preconceptions you have about Free, just throw them out the window, because it will surprise you. It's not boring. It may be boring to some people, but I think give it a try. If you don't like it, that's fine. And yeah, personally, I loved it actually, and it was shocking because I'm not into sports animes. I'm more into romance and comedies. But this had elements of not so much romance, but it had elements of the comedy, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, it also helps that it doesn't focus too much on swimming, which it's more like a Haru's relationship with his teammates and the rivalry that kind of goes on with Rin throughout the season. It feels like swimming is just an excuse to put it on a genre, but everywhere I look it's cataloged as a sports anime. I kind of find difficult to agree that it's a strictly swimming anime. I would definitely catalog it as more slice of life because we're talking about the relationship between the teammates and whatnot. Like it has some slice of life elements, and swimming is just in the background. Like out of 12 episodes that Free has, only 4 or 5, maybe 6 have scenes that the guys swim into, like tournaments or just big matches that happen like outside of tournaments or whatnot. So it's kind of difficult for me to say or to agree even that Free is strictly a sports anime. Like it has more elements than that.
Yeah, there's more depth to it.
Yes, it does. So let's talk about the cast of characters. What do you guys think of it?
In terms of the cast, I love the cast of characters. There's one character that I don't really like, I'm not really fond of, and that is Ray. I'm not a big fan of him because, I don't know, there's something about him that is just so annoying because he's always like calculating and he kind of fails because he's putting too much faith in his calculations rather than what he can actually do and what he can physically do. He has the physique, he could do it. idiot and whatever, but at the beginning he's all making these calculations of what angle I need to do things at, and for me, I just found that extremely annoying, and I'm like, just go for it, you know? But the other characters, amazing. Makoto, I like him because he's very kind of wise. Haru is... to me, when I first saw him, I thought he was a complete idiot because he's just always thinking about water. But, you know, it kind of... You get explained why. Throughout the anime, you figure out why he has a strong relationship to the water and all of that. But my favorite character is Nagisa. And the reason I say that...
Really?
Yes, the reason I say that is because he's so upbeat. Like, nothing can make him sad.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really refreshing. He reminds me of Mugi-chan from K-On! He does as well, and he has really similar character design. Of course, they are done by the same animation team, so I wouldn't expect anything less. And even the characters themselves are really similar. Like, they're always happy, they don't get sad, they're always trying their best. That's another thing. And, you know, I could see a lot of Mugi-chan in Nagisa. I know it sounds so weird, but that's what I think.
Before handing it off to Kevin, what do you think about Ring?
Guy with the sharp teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I didn't understand was, did he always have the sharp teeth when he was younger?
I was also...
He does
I
not.
was also in that boat.
You can go check.
It's like, what did he do? Did he like sharpen his teeth when he was in Australia? I don't know. It freaks me out.
If it has any sort of element of fan service, like Ring having shark teeth, I don't know, like, I don't understand how can people see fan service in Ring having shark teeth.
Well, there's something I heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard that Japanese people like bad teeth. I'm not quite sure if that's true, I'm guessing it's a myth, but maybe it's a similar thing. You know, his teeth, they don't work, they're not humans' teeth. I'm guessing they've done that because, you know, he's like the shark and whatever, and that's why he has those shark-like teeth. But it's imagine eating with that in real life. Like, what does he eat for him to have such sharp teeth?
Raw meat.
Raw meat, and then he probably sharpens it with rocks or something.
I think that the cast is actually pretty good, with a very diverse range of personalities. Personally, my favorite character, I think there's two. It's kind of a neck and neck. They're Nagisa or Makoto. Nagisa, because like Bish said, he's really upbeat, he's really energetic. He's like the motivation, source of motivation for the team, right? He's always like pushing others. He's an energetic character, and he's really like likable, right? It's really hard not to like him. Makoto is because I think he's really nice. He's the like big brother figure of the team. He's always the one carrying brothers. That's something that I can respect. Looking to Ray, I don't like him. Like Bish said, I honestly, like, at some points in the anime, I just question myself, like, what's the point of Ray being there? I mean, other than to fill in the remaining spot. I mean, he can't swim that well. In the end, he doesn't even swim. He's just, I mean, there's the three other main characters, and after there's just him on the side, in my opinion. He doesn't really fit in with the group.
Yeah, I agree with that, but talking about the thing at the end, he only did that and so he can get the original swim team back together, you know? And that was really nice of him, because if that was me, I would have been like, hey, no, fuck that guy. I want to be swimming, you know? But it's very admirable of him to give up his spot for someone else in the relay, even though you can tell he really wanted to be a part of that, and he was excited.
For the majority of Free, we don't know Rin's intentions, why he's so upset with Haru and the rest of the team, and throughout the whole season, that Rin is a character that was written, or at least in my case, designed to hate him. And then I kind of feel bad, and then at the end, I felt bad for him because he was acting in his emotions, like, oh man, I just want a chance to swim with the team again. In the character level, I find him so fascinating because although there's something to be said about angsty Ring, like that you really don't understand why he's upset, but yeah, it's that kind of character that you almost feel bad for disliking him throughout the whole season, and then you actually learn his motivation, like what drives him, and you almost feel bad for it. That's mostly how I felt about Ring. I don't know about you.
Okay.
As for the rest of the guys, I know you guys like Nagisa, but at times I found him to be annoying.
No.
And I don't know if you, although it was pretty pronounced through the season, but there's this particular short movie that was released. I don't know if you guys managed to watch it for free. In one short movie specifically, Ray's daydreaming, and then when Ray realizes he's daydreaming, Nagisa just on the back laughing at him so hard, and I'm like, Nagisa, you're a jerk. You are a jerk.
No, don't say that about Nagisa. Oh man,
no,
He's so
no, he was like,
upbeat.
I know, right?
like there's no nice way to put it. Like, okay, so Ray was daydreaming, and then when he wakes up, because let's see how this goes. Ray daydreams that he's practicing his dive, and then when he actually jumps, and then he hits the desk in the position of diving, and then everybody just looks at him like, "What the hell is going on with you?" And then Nagi's on the back laughing, and then Ray, I can't take it, and the catching is like, "Shut the hell up!"
Lol.
Like, Nagisa, you're a jerk. You are a jerk. For some reason, like, Nagisa always, I don't know if it was designed to be that way, or is this something that the writers just went along with it, is that he always seems to be a bully, like, especially to Ray, and mostly Ray and Haru.
But he does that in a really nice kind of way. Like,
Yeah, he's playful.
exactly, it's the same with Mugi-chan. She does the same in K-On! She's forcing other characters to do certain things, but then she does it out of love. And I think it's the same with Nagisa. He does it because he wants to see the team succeed. After all, he was the one who decided to get the team together. So
Yeah, he was.
he's doing this for everyone's sake, and he's being, sometimes you need to be cruel to be kind, and I think that's why Nagisa is such a jerk sometimes, because he's doing it for everyone. He's taking one for the team.
I don't know if I would say that. I certainly need to rewatch K-On! For to get a feel back for Mugi. But but in a way, both Nagisa and Haru had like selfish reasons to do it. Like, it's true that Nagisa had the initiative to start a swim club back again, because he was looking forward to swimming with everyone, mostly Haru, because I don't know why. But Haru is like this plot device, like the whole world circles around him and how he swims, and that's how he found teammates. He gains the appreciation of everybody else, and I don't know. I don't understand that part, like, to be honest.
Regarding Haru and Rin, I think out of like the entire cast, ironically, I find Haru the most two-dimensional character. I mean, he's the main character, but that does not necessarily mean that he's most interesting character, in my opinion. I just find him like he doesn't have the same emotions. He doesn't always display emotion, right? So it's really hard to relate to him, and the only thing he seems to like care about is water, to be honest, right? And yet still everyone idolizes him, Haru Senpai and things like that. And I don't know, I just feel like he's a character, but I don't think he really deserves the center of attention like he does in anime.
I agree with that, and I would like to add this. It's like, even when he was a kid, he was the same way. Like, he wouldn't talk, like, when you see those pictures, he was always looking away, and it made me think, he's such a dick,
He's like the Mikasa of Free. That's how I would describe it. I'm sorry, SNK fans, but he's like, if you gender bend Mikasa and put her in Free, then you get Haru. But Eren, instead of being obsessed with Eren turned into like the water. So
What the? Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
And, regarding Rin, I think I mentioned to Tyson on Twitter the other day. I always thought that he reminded me of Seto Kaiba at the beginning. he think about it. He's like so obsessed with proving main character that he's better. I mean, like basically the entire plot. If you think about it, the entire plot of this show only happens because Rin is butthurt over having lost to Haru. That's the only reason this ever happened. That's the only reason that they ever had a falling out, is because Rin couldn't deal with it.
No, but you learned, like, in the story that he's not actually butthurt for listening to Haru. Like, he always had that competitive edge, and that's and most animes have it. Like, that is like a minimum requirement of anime to drive the story forward. And it sounds a little bit cliche, but that's how it is. I wouldn't exactly call Rim like snotty, like overconfident or whatever. I think it's just a manifestation of or cocky really. Like, he didn't give me that vibe because. Because I can say without any fear of my opinion being flamed or anything, Seto Kaiba annoys me. Like, he's that bad of a character. Like, and even when he teams up with Yugi to do X or Y thing, I still find him to be very unlikable. In terms of Matsuoka, like I mentioned in the beginning, he's a character that was that I originally disliked, and then at the end I felt bad for him, and I actually like him. I still don't forgive all his angst like towards Haru and the team, because I'm in like ratios here. What exactly what exactly happened between you four that the relationship is so different? Like, I think I almost felt like an outsider here, but in a way I'm glad that the ending was what it was, because it was really nice of Ray to do what he did. Like, he gave up his spot for Rin to swim, and that picture at the end, man, like the original swim team together and everybody laughing and the combination of the song, I'm in tears right now. Yeah. It was really sweet. It was really sweet. Romance?
No, just kidding.
Speaking of that, which characters would you ship?
Oh.
Personally, I would say Nagisa can go with anyone. Anyone you put Nagisa with, it works.
Okay, I have to say,
completely works.
If one of the characters were female, I mean, like, I don't know why, but I think it's kind of funny because I think Rin is a tsundere. Okay, I'm not lying. If you think about it, his attitude towards Nanase, I mean, he displays he has this facade, right, that he doesn't like his foreign team and things like that, and then you can actually see that he's jealous of Nanase. So I don't know, he's a tsundere. I don't know.
But you didn't answer the question. Who would you ship?
Well,
who's your OTP?
I'm trying to pass this message like implicitly, like.
No, you need to answer it.
Okay.
It's difficult, I know, but okay. Let me give you a proper answer. I would say Nagisa and Ai-chan. You know, from the other swim team. The guy with gray hair.
With Nitori? Oh my god!
No.
Yes. Those two? Come on!
No.
Like, the guy with the gray hair and Nagisa, they work perfect together. They're both
oh my
characters.
God!
Come on!
Why?
Come on!
Can I say something?
Yes.
Like, in the second season, like, Aishiro actually swims breaststroke, so he actually collides with Nagisa quite often.
Exactly. And I don't want to talk about the second season, but I'm looking at the second season and I'm like, oh my god, it's like the writers of Free. Listen to me. It's like they know. I'm so happy.
They know what their fandom wants,
exactly.
And they plan to give it to them. I've heard some crazy ships like Rin with Ray, and on the other season it was like, but be careful, you don't want to get bitten, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, like really?
And then he licks his lips. Oh my god, that'll be amazing. That'll be like you can lead into a yaoi from there.
Oh god, no.
No, we certainly don't need Free turning into what Tumblr wants it to. If anybody wants to see Free yaoi, that's their right. They can go to Tumblr, they can go to Route 34 or something.
You know, any anime you see, you're gonna get yaoi, you're gonna get yuri, you're gonna get hentai made of that anime. You know.
Well, it's Rule 34. It's only
exactly. It's gonna happen. So why not accept it? That's the way I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if you're gonna show me that, that's cool with me. Come on, show it. I don't mind. Send it to me. You guys already know my email from the previous episode. So yeah.
I actually got the email wrong.
Yeah.
I said it right. I corrected you. So
I have a question.
Now everyone has the email. Yes.
What is the character you find the most annoying or you dislike the most? Because
but you didn't answer the question.
You didn't answer the question.
Okay. I'll be straightforward this time.
Okay.
Rin and Nanase, okay? Or Haru, alright? There you go.
Everyone picks that ship, but okay.
Everybody's on that ship. Everybody on that ship.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you guys were hipsters. I didn't know it was mainstream. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're so mainstream. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
What about you, Tyson? Who would you ship?
Let's see. My ship. What would it be? This actually quite difficult question, because I never liked I never liked the Iwatobi swing characters enough to like ship them. But there's a certain extent between the relationship between Rin and Nitori that I would say I would ship them both. I would ship them.
Wait, wow. Nitori's the silver hair guy, right?
Yeah, like Nitori is the silver gray hair guy.
No way, you can't do that. That's he's with Nagisa. Come on,
dude, they're roommates. They're roommates.
Doesn't matter. He's with Nagisa. Come on, I've already.
But Nitori sees Rin more often. Like it's just a matter of turning off the light and getting kinky. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, okay. But at the same time, Nagisa and Ai-chan haven't seen each other for a while, and they can go into the changing rooms and they can just start fucking.
But that's my ship, and I'm gonna stay with it.
Okay, you're entitled to your ship, but
Alright.
This is my ship.
Oh man. What else were we gonna say? What was your question again, Kevin?
What character do you find the most annoying or you dislike?
I already said this. It's Ray.
Really?
Yeah.
So you dislike him the most?
I dislike him the most because he's very, like I mentioned before, always calculates things and he doesn't really believe in what he can do. He always relies on that calculation. And I'm like, you're such a dick. Come on, put stuff to practice. It's not.
He's more like a nerd, to be honest.
Nerd? Nah, I wouldn't say he's a nerd. Well,
Okay, who else does calculations before pole vaulting? Honestly.
I know people that do stuff like that, but for different types of things. It depends on what kind of person you are. He thinks like an engineer, honestly.
Trust him, he's an engineer.
Maybe he's studying to be an engineer.
I don't know what he's studying to be though, because that's the thing. You don't get told this information, but if someone told me, yeah, he's going to be an engineer, I would believe that because I know engineers like to calculate things. He also mathematicians and whatever, but the way he's so precise. But the problem is with that is he's never putting anything to practice, and that's where he fails.
Yeah, that's why Nagisa always jumps on him.
Exactly.
Personally, I'm sorry to destroy your ship, Tyson, but Natori, oh my god, he's so annoying!
No.
No.
I was like...
Nitori is the type of senpai, please notice me.
Yes, that's exactly why I hate him. He's like, every single fucking line he says. Rin senpai, notice me. Rin senpai, what are you doing?
Matsuoka senpai.
Yeah, Rin senpai, what are you doing? Rin senpai, are you okay? Rin senpai, this, Rin senpai. I'm like...
And... No, remember, it's Matsuoka senpai, and then at the end, he refers to him as Rin senpai.
No, but it's like he follows him everywhere, and he won't stop with the word senpai. He won't shut up about it.
But
you think about it, Nitori is only there because he's also a fan of Rin. Like they were in the same tournament in their last relay. He was observing because he lost the prelims or something. He admires him.
Yeah, he looks up to him. I don't find that annoying. If I was in a similar situation, I would be honored. If I was Rin, I would be like, oh, thanks. You love me that much that you would like to follow me. Of course, there is that kind of boundary between someone that kind of senpai, please notice me, and stalker. And, we don't know what he does at nighttime. He could be going through his underwear and sniffing it for all we know. That's what he could be doing. I don't know what he's doing. That's the thing. We don't get told this information. We don't get told. We need to know more about their relationship. That's what I think.
There was also a short movie of Ring and Nitori, like spending a week in their dorm. See what happened.
Oh,
I suggested you guys should watch the short movies. Those are not only a source of information, but they're also good for lads. Cause what you learn from that short movie, specifically the short movie from Ring and Nitori in their dorm room. So basically, Ring doesn't like messes, and Nitori is very unorganized, and he keeps like the weirdest things as mementos. And he also says that he wishes to be a senpai someday, and I'm like, what?
Oh, but Tyson,
this is the kind of stuff that's gonna carry to the second season, and I know who is Nitori going to be senpai for.
I already know that as well. It's I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it now. It'll ruin
it. No. We're trying to say in the first season.
Yeah, but I mean, he follows Rin around like a lost dog. He won't go away. It's just.
But it's cute.
No, but he's so annoying. It's just like.
But his cuteness overcomes all of that.
No, but he's like a try-hard Nagisa. He's like Nagisa, but annoying.
But the difference between Nitori and Nagisa is that Nagisa's confident, Nitori is not.
Yeah, he doesn't have a senpai complex, right? So.
Senpai complex? Wow.
Senpai complex. I didn't know that was a thing.
That should be an anime in itself.
Senpai complex. What studio should we pitch that idea to so they can get developed?
I would say
Kyoani, the same ones that made Free.
Nah, I don't think. I think JC Staff would roll with that because they're known for making
You,
great
you
anime.
are biased. You are
I love
biased with
JC Staff. I'm sorry. They make
you
most
are biased. Now I'm being serious here. If you love JC Staff so much, why don't you love Kiwani? They made K-On! They made it.
They did, but at the same time, it's like K-On! Is it's too good. But I don't. I've seen a lot more JC Staff stuff, and I've enjoyed a lot more JC Staff stuff, except for Orimo. Orimo,
Okay, looking at the list, the animes that at least I have heard of, some of them I've watched, are Full Metal Panic. I think they did both seasons. Melancholy Horror Susumiya. I did watch that series. It's kind of a mindfuck, but there you go. They did K-On! I only watched the first season. I haven't watched the second yet. There was another. Besides Free, I can't remember right now. Don't know.
would you say you're biased to them?
Not exactly. I haven't seen much of their material. I thought Haruhi Suzume, Melancholy Haruhi was okay. It was an enjoyable watch. I haven't watched Full Metal Panic, and Free is okay, and Free is okay as well. I wouldn't exactly catalog into my top anime that I've watched from all time,
Oh.
but if anything, it's in the top 20, and
Wow.
that list is still gonna get shaped as I watch more and more anime
Okay.
because my knowledge of anime is only limited to shonen shows. I can't exactly call myself a fanatic if
Okay.
I only watch shonen shows. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm biased to any particular studio at all. I will say though
Uh-huh.
that the next episode comes from a studio comes from the studio that did Full Metal Alchemist. Now I'm like, okay, I believe I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Well, for me, it's a completely different story because I watch a lot of shoujo anime. So essentially, if people were to look at my anime list and they don't know my gender, they would think I'm a girl. Essentially, because a lot of the animes I watch are shoujo, stuff like Fruits Basket and whatever. And I would say I would put Free in my top 10 at least, not in the top 5, but the top 10 at least, because for me it's because, like I said, I'm more into the whole romance thing, and I haven't seen much anime to begin with. I've seen about maybe 25 of them.
So tell us about you, Kevin. How high would you rank Free in your own personal favorite anime list?
Well, personally, I think around top 20 as well. I enjoyed it. It's solid, but I think what kind of made me uncomfortable at times was naturally the fan service. I'm just not used to watch. Like, this is honestly the first time I watch fan service this kind, and it doesn't get in the way of anime, but still, as a former competitive swimmer myself, I still found that it was really interesting, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Solid. I enjoyed it overall. But Tyson,
Let me get. I'm sorry. Hold that thought. Let me ask you guys a question. Have you seen the concept video of what was Free? Like,
No.
maybe 2 months before, maybe 2 months before the first episode or something. Many people on the internet rumor that there's no way because the official Free wiki suggests that since there was a high interest in this little 30-second concept video, and everybody just started developing character stories, what the anime is going to be about, and then Kiwani said, you know what, let's do this. And I read a discussion sometimes saying that, you know what, between the difference of when the concept was released and when the first episode was released, they had this already planned. Like, that concept was already going to be developed. What I also found out from my investigation is that Kiwani isn't really known for doing swimming animes. They're more into the comedy genre, like Melancholy Haruhi Suzumiya. They also do some supernatural stuff. I think Full Metal Panic has some of those, but they have done a project with Konami for some of their baseball titles. I think Kiwani has done some media footage for their video games, and Free will just count as their first full-blown attempt at doing a sports anime. I personally find fascinating that kind of stuff because I don't know if they met their own personal expectations, but if anything, Free getting a second season, I believe that kind of speaks about the success it had back in Japan, because mostly these shows' popularity is based on how much merch they sell. And I believe the drama CDs were very popular, like the drama CDs, the audio CDs. I haven't heard them myself, so I don't know. I'm not sure about how Free Season 2 is gonna drive up the merch, but Should there be a season 3? And I know I'm getting ahead of myself.
I want to say something about the whole season 3 thing. Honestly, I don't think that there will be a season 3, and the reason I say that is because the same applies to K-On! And I know it's a different anime and whatever, but it's because it's a high school anime. You can't have two characters go off to college and then other characters just remaining in high school. It just doesn't work.
Unless Makoto and Haru go into some kind of mentorship, some sort of senpaiship, and they introduce new characters into the mix.
That's the thing that will kill the series. That's why they didn't continue it with K-On! Even K-On's manga had a bit where they all went to college, and then Azusa, she's still in high school, but then the other four are in college, and they continue the K-On! Group in college, and I'm like, and I can understand why they didn't do an anime of it, because it doesn't make any sense. Like,
any thoughts on that, Kevin?
I don't know, yeah, I feel that it's good that an anime has sequel, but like Fish said, I think staying faithful to the original very important, and most of all, should milk an anime series if you don't have to. Like, just do as many seasons as you need, tell the story you're going to tell. Like, tie up the loose ends and finish the story with a solid ending. Because if you try to drag something on for too long, then you're gonna run out of ideas, or you're just gonna piss people off.
exactly.
Right? Yeah,
You
you have a
don't want
point.
that. You never answered the question though, did you, Tyson? Do you dislike any of the characters?
I said I dislike Nagisa. You wanted to say something before I interrupted with the whole Kiwani story thing?
We didn't speak of the other characters. Like, in terms of the supporting characters, the supporting roles, you know, like the teacher, the coach, and of course, none other than Go-chan. Personally, I like her. She's a really nice character. But, you know, she's a bit... she's like a fangirl. You know, she's like, oh my god, muscles!
I think the presence of Go is the whole representation that this anime is self-aware. They know what they are marketing for, and Go is the perfect representation. Exactly, it's like a fourth wall. Like the whole Go getting all fangirly at muscles and thing and physique and whatnot. I think I immediately saw it as a, oh my god, these guys are breaking the fourth wall. Like, they know what they're marketing for, and they like deliberately include this character that's a total fangirl. That every time Asuma takes his shirt off and whatnot, she goes like, "Oh my god, those deck toys, those spec toys, and those triceps and what."
Why are you doing that accent?
because I got carried away in the moment.
Okay, that's understandable. But what I have to say about her, yes, at the beginning it was okay, but then you don't have to drag it on. Especially I felt that I don't want to speak about second season, but I'm gonna slip this in here. It continues on for the second season, and then she says something about her brother's muscles, and I'm like, whoa. I don't want this to turn into Oremo, you know?
I have personally seen people shipping Ring with Go, and I'm like, oh my god, no. I will be damned if incestuous ships are introduced. No.
Just to put that out there, guys, we do not condone that stuff. It's illegal and it's disgusting. Just saying. Hashtag just saying.
It's immoral. It's immoral.
Yeah, we don't like that. How would you ship brother and sister? Like, internet, you're disgusting.
Guys, honestly, I don't have a standing on that in real life. Like, I don't really support or condone that. But I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't really picture that ship in the anime at all. But
I can't imagine it either. But
that does have the opinion. I think they have the right to that. But personally, I don't see it happening. Like, I don't.
I just don't like the idea of people who are related to be shipped, because when you think of a ship, you think of, you know, a romantic relationship, and I'm like, no, you can't do that, because they're brother and sister. It does not work. Especially for me, that if they tried to do that in free, or if someone even suggested that ship, I would just leave the room. You know, it's just something that I'm not with. Anyway, let's move on swiftly. Is there any characters that you feel that you've that they're relatable to you, to your own personal life? Which characters you feel that are relatable?
You want to start, Kenny?
Personally, as a competitive swimmer or former competitive swimmer, I think that there's kind of a piece of everyone that I can relate to. Not one character that has all of it, but I think for Haru, I kind of share that passion for swimming. I really liked swimming, and I still do. But of course, I'm not like obsessed with water to the point where I will undress myself in public and jump into water like he does. But I still I find that relatable. Also, I find Nagisa to be extremely relatable because around friends, I really like making jokes. He's really energetic, and I think to an extent, maybe Re, because sometimes I take like the literal or calculating approach to things. But yeah, I think there's a piece of everyone I can relate to this anime, and that's maybe some people would see it as one of the strong points.
I can't say that, unlike Hanako, I could relate to someone in particular in this anime. I'm not really a sports guy, so I can't talk on the whose swimming capabilities I would identify with. Yeah, I don't feel that kind of connection. If anything, I understand their motives, if for what that's worth, but as to feeling identified, not really. Not really.
Can I ask you a question though, Tyson? Like, if you were to take the cast of Free and you were to remove the swimming part of it, would you be able to relate to them? Like,
probably, but I still need to learn a little bit more about the personalities, and I don't know. I just find it hard to come up with this on the spot of who I relate to. That's just me, though.
Okay. Well, personally, I feel that I relate to various characters, but I would say Rin. And the reason is because his childhood, and I feel that I've had a similar kind of thing because his father died when he was a young lad, and I've kind of experienced that as well. So I kind of felt his pain and the emotions he must have been going through at that time. But I wouldn't say I'm like Rin now. I'm not this kind of guy that wants to just win at races and whatever. I would say I'm more of I wouldn't say Nagisa, but I would say a mixture of Nagisa and Rin, and for some reason Rei, because I'm the kind of person that does calculate a lot of stuff because I like calculations, but that part of it annoys me. But yeah, that's who I find relatable. But mostly Rin because of his childhood.
Kevin, this is something that you brought up a few days ago, and I think I mentioned at the beginning because you made a comment. The swimmer's physique. You being a swimmer yourself, does this really stick up to reality? Like how swimmers are usually built, their physique or anything? Are they really the swimmer's physique in Free? Does it relate to reality in any sense?
I was about to ask that question myself, and being a swimmer myself, having seen abs, a lot of abs, having had abs.
Whoa. There's going to be a lot of fan fiction and like fan art of Kevin with abs.
I'd like to start my answer with an apology to all the fangirls on Tumblr and the entire female audience of Free, because unfortunately this is not the case in real life. Everyone's buff in Free, and I don't know if you've noticed, but have you seen a single female swimmer at any of the swim meets? Anyone?
No, I haven't seen any female swimmers.
And everyone in the background, like background characters, they're all buff. I mean, when you get to the swimming sections, it's like abs everywhere, right? And everyone's ripped. I mean, even Nagisa, and he's pretty short. I think he's youngest, if I'm not mistaken. Buff for his height.
Are you just jealous?
What? Whoa,
Apparently.
You're like, oh my god, Nagisa, he's the youngest, and look how muscly he is. And why can't I be like him?
Damn it! I've been found.
You just stroke a picture of Nagisa on your wall. You're like, one day. Be like.
Oh
I just
my
have
god.
it. I have it in my ceiling, so like.
So when you go to sleep, you see it all the time. Do you have like a body pillow? Oh my god. Nagisa body pillow. I would buy that.
No joke. I think they sell those in Japan. Body pillows of the different characters. I think they do.
Yeah, well, it's Japan, of course they do, right? I mean, but how would you guys react to that if this like he's in high school now? What if this 10th grader walked up to you and he was more built than you are.
But that's the thing. I've seen loads of people like that.
I have as well.
It's like I've seen loads of like kids that do sports and stuff, especially when I was in high school, and I was like, dude, how the hell do you get like that? It's crazy. But you know, they work out and they try their hardest. It's probably the same with Nagisa, because you know, he's energetic. For all you know, he could be doing weights, and
Well, clearly he lifts.
of course,
Everybody in the anime lives.
yeah, if he's naturally like that, I will be surprised, and I want to know what they're eating to be like that. What is it? Is it like some special fruit?
Or maybe it's just mackerel, and that's where Haru gets his name. Like he's obscene love for mackerel.
Well, I don't think it's the mackerel, because not everyone eats the mackerel.
Yeah, that's only a horror thing.
So I think Haru probably does it for another reason. It might be like an aphrodisiac to him, or some sort of some form of Viagra.
No, bitch. You do know that some certain type of fish are actually considered aphrodisiac or whatever that's spelled.
Mm-hmm. Well, like oysters and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's actually the case in real life.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I don't
is
know.
that the reason? Is that the reason he's doing that?
I don't know. Maybe he is mackerel and then goes into his bedroom and then he just like, oh my god.
Okay, I don't. I don't want to picture this. I don't want to picture someone getting off with a mackerel. Okay.
That's disgusting. You've taken it too far, Kevin.
I don't want to judge you, Tyson, or anyone else if they do that, but I don't think it's appropriate. I mean, I think there's much more clean and safe means to do that. Okay.
But
I mean, you'd have to be pretty poor if you were to resort to that.
Dude, no. The way I'm imagining it is, have you seen How to Basic?
No, but okay.
Watch How to Basic, because he's always has fish, and he's like, there's this one thing was like it was like one of his videos. He does how-to videos, but they're extremely stupid. One of them was how to have sex, and he has like this fish, and he's like, shh. He rubs his hand on the fish. It's like, shh. And he slaps it on his thighs, and it's crazy. And watch the video right now. It's hilarious. But when you said that, that's what I imagined, and I was just like, is that what Haru's doing? He's just slapping fish on.
And lest we forget, Haru has a big house and he lives alone.
Why is that?
Apparently in the story it said that his parents are working overseas,
and they just left a massive house.
Yeah, he left it. It's like Hanako in a sense. Like, why does Tsukiko and Steel have that big of a house?
But that was inherited to them. But in this case, the parents could have just sold the house and let him live in a small shitty apartment. You know, because he lives. I'm not saying he deserves that, but it would have made more sense. Like, why does he need a?
I agree, but yeah. I think that's more culture, if anything.
Well, another thing is, the only parents that we see in this anime is Makoto's parents? Why is that? Why don't we see Nagisa's mom? I want to see Nagisa's mom. And then there's Mugi-chan, and I'm like, oh my god, that'll be amazing. That needs to happen. I want to see that. I want to see Nagisa's...
bitch. All you want to see is if Nagisa's mom is a MILF. That's all you want to know.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I want Nagisa's mom to be Mugi-chan. I want that.
Nobody. But if anything, as to why Makoto's parents are shown is it's kind of exploring that other side of Makoto, that he's a caring guy because he's the older brother, and if you want to introduce like his younger brothers, they have some sort of part in the story. You also have to introduce their parents. As for why the others' parents are not introduced, is that because they're not really don't really contribute anything to the story. Like, I'm pretty sure they live with their parents. Like, we're talking about high schoolers here, and that's why I kind of find Haru living alone as a high schooler to be kind of weird. But no, the the fact that their parents are working overseas doesn't quite convince me. Like, yeah, it's mostly to serve to further develop into that tidbit of Makoto being gentle, being caring, and yeah, just not looking like Brock. Because if you recall, Brock from Pokemon, he's like the eldest brother of like how many? 8, 9?
Whoa!
Or something like that.
His parents.
That's Brock from.
Wow. They must have been busy.
I think they've been busy, or I think they died. I had to rewatch Pokemon, the specific episode in which
No, I mean like in terms of having
uh,
sex.
oh my
That's
god.
yeah, they must have been busy. Speaking of Pokemon, I finally I saw this post on Tumblr and I was like, oh my god, it explains so much. You know how Professor Oak is making you find all those Pokemon, like fill the Pokedex? He's just banging Ash's mom.
Wait, what?
It makes so much sense. He's sending him away. He's like, oh, go find Pokemon, and she's like, oh man, oh Professor Oak, like wow, that's
And then Professor Oak is like, I'm free, free.
essentially that's what it is. And he's risking his
Guys.
life to fight these animals.
I hope you feel
No,
good because you just
No, you
ruined the
think it-
childhood of everyone.
I'm sorry, but that's true. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one day, and I'm letting you guys know. I've already ruined Luigi for people from Super Mario Brothers. I could.
What? You were the one that found out the Luigi death there?
No, I was the person that says Luigi because Luigi was neglected, so he went into depression. And he was drinking a lot, and now Luigi is just this guy that goes to parties all the time, and he's always hitting on women. And you know, it's Luigi, bitches. You know, he's the guy he's a douchebag at the club. You know, that's hitting on all the girls, and he doesn't get any of them. But sometimes he does. Sometimes he gets lucky, and you know, he doesn't care. You know, he's like a Quagmire. You know how Quagmire from Family Guy like finds a girl, and then in the morning doesn't, you know, just leaves in the morning. That's Luigi. That's how he is.
One night stand.
Yeah, Luigi's always having those, and they're always when he's drunk, so he doesn't know what he's getting or who he's getting for that matter.
That
Oh, it's like a Russian roulette. Like, okay, so I'm gonna throw down. Let's see what falls
It's
down.
like he opens his bed and it's like, oh my god, Yoshi, why are you here? It's like that.
okay. Let's keep bestiality out of this conversation.
Okay, back to free. There must be something that we haven't touched. There must be something.
Oh yes. I have a question I prepared.
Yes.
Do you all remember that conversation that Ray had with Finn in episode 11? What do you think of that?
Oh, personally, I was just like, why? For me, in Rin's position, I'll be like, why the fuck do you need to know? It's not your business. You weren't there.
Exactly.
But at the same time, he does feel left out, and he's like, well, I'm part of this team now. He has this kind of entitlement, but I think it's a false entitlement. Like, he doesn't really need to know, but he wants to know because it's nagging at him, you know? He's just being nosy here, but, you know, in some case, he's kind of entitled to know because he is, but I don't think he should know all of it. I just think he should know small bits. That's my opinion on that. And I think it was incredibly rude for him to do that to Rin. And I'm like, if that was me, I would have been like, go away from me. You don't need to know this information. And especially because he was really angry and aggressive. But I feel that if he was kind of calm and he was like, dude, so what went on? I think that would have been more acceptable. But still, he was still rude of him to do that.
What do you feel about Ray's confrontation with Rin in episode 11?
Rin's confrontation.
Him being confronted by Ray, right? Like asking what happened between them, like why they fall out, stuff like that.
Yeah, I do remember, but I'm trying to think of what to say. I do agree that it was nosy, but how can I put this? It was nagging at him, but at least I have to commend him as to his approach. He basically took the initiative because he didn't felt satisfied by Haru's answer. Like there still was something more, because all that Haru did was answer why he thought that Rin didn't want to talk to him anymore. For some reason, he felt as if he had to hear the other side of the story. I have to commend him for having the initiative. It was nosy, yes, but it was something that he felt that strongly that he needed to do. It's okay, go and do it. Go do what you have to do. The other conversation that Ring and Ray had, like at night, at the wind thingy, whatever. I think I also have to say that was admirable because it's basically him opening up to someone he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And why do I say that? Because he basically admits that he felt insecure and everything to someone he doesn't know. He maybe has seen it 2 or 3 times already. That's basically it. And I think it was a nagging sense of it in a way as well, that he didn't feel it was over until he told that to Ray.
Personally, I do agree with your sense of him being nosy, but I think I take it a bit further. Like the entire conversation, I just felt angry with today, and I was just like, dude, just piss off. Like, get
Yeah.
out of there. Honestly,
Of course.
it's like, guys, I have to ask you a question. What if some person you barely know walks you out and starts interrogating you on stuff about your past,
Well-
and that is emotionally provoking?
Well, honestly, what I would do is I would just be like, "You don't know me," and I would say that in my mind. I wouldn't say that in person because I don't know. This guy could have a gun or a knife, so I would just be like, "Okay, I'll see you later. You know, you have my email. You can go. You know," and I'll just walk away. I wouldn't really make much of it. I wouldn't make a scene. I wouldn't react in such a way because like I said, I don't know them. But if it was someone I knew and they were being aggressive to me and like that, I would stand up for myself and I'd be like, "Oh, fuck you think you're doing, mate?" You know, that's what I would do. And I'll be like, "Okay," but then at the same time, I would try my best to find a way out of it that doesn't end badly.
I mean, I really understand Rin when he got angry and he threatened to punch it, because like I think it's really disrespectful. Even though he thinks he's entitled, that is true to a certain extent, that he should know at least a portion of the story. But him being so aggressive and like I think he grabbed him by the collar at one point, and it's like you're being way too aggressive. You're reaching personal space and you're asking things that you don't have to know, you don't need to know, and the person has the right to their own privacy, right? Especially since it's such a subject. That it was really rude of him, and that's one of the reasons I didn't like. Yeah.
I kind of got okay. So what would I do if someone I didn't even confront him? I would basically just walk away. And since since I have this phase of that I don't know how to hide my emotions. If I'm upset, you'll definitely see it in my face. I would actually look at that person with that mean look, saying that I'm upset or I'm not comfortable with, and I would just let my gestures speak for themselves, really. As if it was someone I know, then yeah, pretty much like Deja, I would stand up for myself. And but I tend to look at the pros and cons. If it's a situation which I tend to lose, like for instance, I argue with a friend and and like our friendship is at risk, then maybe I'll just withhold what I'm thinking of in a way that let's just drop. That's pretty much it.
You think he was right though? Like, I mean, Ray, would you think he was right?
It's a situation really, if it's right or not. Really, it's not something I can paint with a. It's not something I can paint with a broad stroke responsibly. I guess you could say. I really can't.
Okay. So I have a question for you guys. Considering this is about swimming, because Kevin, you mentioned that you do swimming and whatever, but I'm guessing me and Tyson, we don't swim. I'm not quite sure, but what is your preferred style? Do you think after watching this anime, are you motivated to go back into swimming or try swimming for the first time and be like these guys?
Well, back when I was still a competitive swimmer, my favorite style was breaststroke, because it wasn't as exhausting as the other ones.
So you are Nagisa, essentially. That's
yes, I know, but
okay. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, and I won't deny it. I did relate to Nagisa a bit about being the youngest in the group and liking breaststroke a lot. I just felt like breaststroke, it was like, in my opinion, the minimum amount of effort, the maximum amount of effect. I mean, compared to butterfly, if you've done competitive swimming, if you've done butterfly, you know that it drains you. It absolutely drains you. I mean, in freestyle, that's like, it was my second best stroke back then. But one thing I have to bring up is that as a swimmer, I don't think you guys have noticed it, but as a swimmer, I felt kind of upset, not upset, but something that stuck out to me while watching the anime was the swimming techniques. And it just, seeing them do some of the things wrong, it just kind of stuck out to me, and it kind of stuck to me. So personally,
care to kind of elaborate on that? Like, what things were they doing wrong?
Overall, it's just some of the techniques, like the way they breathe and things like that. But I mean, in its own defense, I think it's not supposed to be Swimming Simulator 2014, right? It's simply an anime, and I think it does represent swimming pretty well. And I don't know, I did have this motivation to start swimming again.
Okay. Well, personally for me, I would say I don't know. I'm not a good swimmer, and I would say if I was to swim, I would just be drowning.
So like Ray then. So
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm Nagisa. You're Ray. All right.
Yeah, I'm Ray, but I'm Ray at the beginning, where he was just like drowning a lot. That would be me.
Okay.
But just imagine Ray, but you know, with those little the things that the kids wear on their arms. You know those little
So you get
inflatable-
floaties?
Yeah, those inflatable things, and then
Oh.
yeah, that's just me when I get into a swimming pool, just like loads of inflatables, and I'm like, yeah.
So
You-
do you think?
You know now, you know now that that Kevin did mention about the technique between butterfly and breaststroke. I think that butterfly is a perfect fit for Ray, given that he's a former track athlete. It actually makes sense to me now. And if anyone, he would be the one who with the better physical condition to do butterfly, even if that's the only stroke he can do. As to whether I would, if I get motivated to swim, I do have a little story. Maybe it isn't related, but when I was younger, I was at a sports camp. And one day they took us out of the pool, and then we were told. It's a pretty deep pool. It's about 15 feet deep. It's used for like diving events and whatnot. And they told us okay, so now you're going to kayak. They gave us a boat, and then we were supposed to row from one point to the other. Turns out that I didn't know how to balance myself in the water, and then I fell to the water, and I didn't know how to swing. I actually passed out. And all I can remember is the mocking of the other people, and the teachers scolding them, because I could have actually died over there if I wasn't being watched.
So you're both like Ray then, in a sense.
I'm sorry.
So you're both kind of like Ray then, in a sense, because remember what happened in episode 5?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
Ray,
yeah.
but didn't Ray drown in like a shallow part?
He kind of like dried in a shallow part. When I fell to the water and almost drowned, I think I was almost getting to the part where it was 10 feet deep. Like, I could have been maybe 5'5" by then. Like my whole body could have been underwater, and since I didn't know how to swim, I drank pool water. That's clean with bleach.
Yeah.
So I wasn't conscious for like 20 minutes or so. So in a way, I am kind of afraid of the water, but in a way, it also interests me. Maybe I had to get in better physical condition to actually do swimming. There's an outdoor pool like a few miles away from my house. Maybe I can enroll in some classes. Hopefully they'll have classes for beginners, because I hope that there's some adult classes, because all I've seen around those pools are kids, like not adults. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I could imagine, like, for some reason, I don't know why, I can just imagine, I don't know how to say this, I can imagine all three of us doing our own swim club.
Fanfics inbound.
Yes,
Fanfics.
I know. I can imagine it right now. Like, you know, Tyson would. You know those thing that Ray was wearing. The
Oh my
the
god!
trousers, the
The
swimming,
flame.
the
Speedos.
no, not those, the swimming trousers.
Oh
long
my
ones.
god!
Yeah, but he would have the rainbow ones.
Oh my!
And then for some reason
Oh my-
I can imagine you like Nagisa with the speedos, and then I don't know what I would be swimming in. Probably like the most.
You big
Like,
aim.
It's
If-
just
if-
a,
if
just
you
a
big-
mankini or something, you know, like Borat.
No, if you recall the episode where they go to buy speedos, I think it was episode 4. They go to buy new swimsuits. I could actually see you, bitch, in that one scene that Makoto actually tried. Like it's a total one piece. Like from the leg up to the body, and then the straps.
But the thing
I
is,
could
that,
totally
that,
see you one of those.
that wouldn't suit me. I don't think it would, because I'll just look like a scuba diver. It would just be stupid. I just have like an oxygen tank with me as well in case I drown.
Probably, although I could very well use that tank more than you could do.
Yeah,
Alright, guys, like Rei, you couldn't swim back then because you were wearing speedos, or is it a different cause?
I think
It's a different cause.
I
It's a
think
different
I
cause.
couldn't swim back then because when I was a kid, they used to make us go have like swimming lessons in an indoor pool, and honestly, I hated it. It was just like, really, I have to go swimming with a bunch of other people. You know, I wasn't really confident in swimming, but it was a pain in the ass because you know you're going into that water and you're getting the eyes, you get the eyes become like really painful because chlorine that's in the pool. But I don't, you know, back then I didn't buy goggles. I didn't see the point of them because I was like, why spend £10 on stuff for your eyes? Like, who needs them anyway? And then
Until your eyes start
and
burning.
you're like, fuck, you know, it's like it's that thing. But you know, another thing is I always thought there was shark in the water. I know it's a pool and you can see from the side, but I always thought there was some sort of sharks.
Well, you don't want Rin
Cartoons.
swimming around, right? Fighting you.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't want any of the Iwatobi's swim club to be swimming near me because I would be very like self-conscious. I'd be like, look at these guys, look how awesome they're swimming, and it's just me with my inflatables and maybe Barbara-san.
Hey, inflatables are cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with inflatables.
That would be awkward. Like, imagine if someone brought like an inflatable doll to a public swim pool. Imagine bringing an inflatable to a swimming pool. You would probably get kicked out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you get weird looks, definitely.
You get weird looks and you'd probably get out because there's children there, and then they're like, "Hey, you can't do that." Another thing I want to raise up is we're going to be moving on to the intros and outros of the anime, but there's something I want to raise. Like in the ending of it, what is it? Like, you know how at the end they're all swimming in the pool, like in the oasis kind of thing, and it's like they're all naked. I've noticed that they're all naked, but then Haru's the only one that jumps in with his swimsuit.
Wait, when is this?
In the, you know that the ending, the splash ending they call it, and they're all dressed like, yeah, the one where they're all dressed like Arabian kind of, what they call them, you know, Arabian Nights. It's like that. They're all dressed like that, and they're on camels and whatever. And they're all swimming in the oasis, and then Haru's just like, I'm gonna swim too, and he takes off his clothes, but he's the only one wearing a swimsuit. The rest are full on skinny dipping into the pool, and I'm like, why can't they wear swimsuits?
Because it's for the sake of fan service.
I know, but that's drinking water. Oasis is pure. It's like pure water. It's like you can drink from that. You know?
Fish. This is anime logic.
I know. I don't want to be drinking. What if someone pisses in that? You know, someone might piss in that. The thing is, but that's the thing with chlorine. The reason they have that in there is to kill bacteria. They're swimming naked in an oasis. That's not right. You know, people gonna drink from that, from dehydration and whatever. Come on.
The fangirls don't really care about the realism aspect of this.
There would be people out there that would love to drink that water. Just saying.
Oh god, yes.
God.
Why?
Of course, but it's just like,
I think I just spent more time figuring out why how does that relate to the anime, like that ending. How does it relate at all?
It's like a fan service ending.
No, I can see how it relates because, you know, it's like Haru's always seeking the water. He wants to be one with the water, and it's like in these kind of desert areas there is no water, and he's searching for that oasis, that place where there is water. And you know, Rin is kind of like he's trying to show off. He's like, look at all this water I have. I'm getting wet. Like, that's what it is. But there was that moment there, and I was just like, it looks like he's like enjoying himself a lot, especially like all the water's flowing over him. It's like, oh my god, it's like, wow. And then everyone else,
well, I guess they enjoy being wet.
They do, but the other people were like seemed disappointed because they had no water in their flasks. But I think that's the whole point of it. It was more symbolism more than anything.
Probably when you put it like that, it does make sense. Also, there are two things about both the opening and ending sequences. Since we're talking about the ending, I'll hop onto that first. Splash Free is made by a band called Style 5, which is basically the 5 voice actors, Makoto, Nagisa, Rin, and Haru. Those are basically the singers of that. Yes, they are.
Nagisa's not voiced. I thought Nagisa was voiced by a woman.
No, Nagisa's voiced by a guy.
Wow. Okay.
So Style is basically the voice actors, like the main voice actors, and Makoto's voice actor, He's a singer for O Codex. You remember O Codex if you pay attention to the opening sequence, which is the band song that is featured in the opening. Makoto's voice actor is actually the lead singer in that band. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I didn't notice that, but it's nice that they do that. There are some animes where the voice actors do contribute for the opening and ending songs. That it happens quite a lot. I'm not sure about K-On!, but I know there's certain animes that I know that they do that.
I think. Anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. There was a song in the Melancholy Horror is Sumiya that that was sang by I think the voice actor, and I think she's a singer as well. I'm not sure.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but there's a lot of voice actors that go into singing as well. It's
what I thought at first when I look up the voice actors are these guys idols or something? I don't know.
It's just like Love Live. Have you seen Love Live?
No, I haven't.
Awesome. Just saying.
I think we gave Bish an idea for his next episode.
Oh man, Love Live is so awesome. I love it.
I've considered watching it, but I don't know. Sorry guys, but I've been known to not like fan service, and I'm given the impression that it's a fan service show.
Love Live. Yes, there is some fan service elements, but for me, when I'm watching it, there's so much nostalgia because I finished K-On! And whatever, and I'm like, oh man, if only there was something that was similar to K-On! And then Love Live, yeah. It's the same, and also because I used to sing, so I'm both K-On! And Love Live are really close to me. I wouldn't say that I am a school idol or a member of a K-On! Group, but yeah.
Now we need to hear you singing.
You can go on Tumblr and I will give you guys the link. There's actually recorded footage of that. If you guys actually want to go and check it, like listeners and audience members, you can actually go to my Tumblr, which is get-a-life.tumblr.com. Go to my archive and it's my first ever post. Yeah, or one of my first posts, I believe. I'm not quite sure.
All right.
But yeah, go check that out. Anyway, so I was gonna say something. What are your gripes? Because I have one gripe in this anime, or and it is the music, not the opening and ending music, but it's the music they use within the anime. It's all over the place. Like you got the dubstep, you got the classic, you got all of these types of different musical genres coming together, and they seem that they aren't working together, and they seem that they're doing it at the wrong time. Like, why were they going to play dubstep right before they were going to jump into the pool? They should have done that while they were having the race.
Dude, it's 12:13 when the anime came out. Mostly everything was revolving around dubstep.
I'm not saying that I don't like dubstep. I'm saying that they should have played it while they were having the race, not before they were having the race, because it just didn't work before the race. They should have had something more dramatic, more emotional before and after the race. And then during the race, they could have had the dubstep. That would have been perfect, but they decided, let's put dubstep while they're walking to the pool. Like, that makes no sense. Like, the beat drops and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And they're just there. They're just there standing. The beat should have dropped as soon as they got into the pool, and then the song, like, that would have been awesome. But they didn't think that through.
Apparently Japan are nudes when it comes to dubstep.
Honestly, regarding the soundtrack, I mean, the opening was solid. I mean, it's not nothing fantastic, but it's nothing bad at the same time. But I don't know. I don't have much to say about the soundtrack. It never really stuck out to me. I never really noticed it. It was just there, to be honest. I guess that's saying something. I mean, because it gets the job done, I guess. But it's not one of those anime where I notice the music and I'm like, okay, what is this song? I need to find it out. I want to know what the name is and listen to it. I mean, so it's decent music, but sometimes it feels out of place.
Yeah, but for me, it's because I feel that the music is just as important. It gives you different experience. Like, if the music wasn't there to begin with, like, I've seen they had like some sort of experiments where people would watch a film and they would take the music out of the film, and then it would be a completely different film because the music was taken out. It's the same with this. Like, if the music isn't, like, I would say, synced or isn't fitting, then it just ruins it. I wouldn't say it has ruined Free, but it's. I think if the music was done and put out at the right times, then it would have made Free almost perfect, in my opinion. But that's only my opinion. Yeah.
I guess it's something. I think it's something I never really noticed, but it's besides from the fact that I don't like dubstep, like, at all. And then when I hear this music, I'm like, what? Did this guys really use dubstep for to indicate? I wasn't really thinking clearly of what was happening before they played the song. I do have to agree that it felt out of place.
Hmm.
Like that would have been more fitting to the people swimming. I think I would have gone with a more traditional rock soundtrack, like
Yes.
for the tense parts, which is something that was definitely improved in season two. Like, but so far there's no dubstep. As long as there's no dubstep, the soundtrack's memorable. But at least I do have to agree with Bish on his enunciation about the music taking everything out of the movie, out of the anime, and everything. As for a gripe that I have with Free, I think that by the end of that by the end of the season, I actually wanted it to be longer because then it was okay. So you got kicked out of regionals, and because a swimmer from another team was joining your team, but maybe two or three more episodes. I kind of lament that it was so short, and it sticks so strictly to the summer anime to summer anime topic, like let's say Free started almost when summer started and ended when almost summer ended, and that's probably the only really gripe that I have with Free, really.
What about you, Kevin?
Me personally, I found it was at its core, it was a solid slice of life and sports anime. Well, more slice of life than sports because I don't know too much about sports anime, to be honest. But at its core is pretty good. But I think I already mentioned this before that my main gripes would have to be fan service. Even though it doesn't get in the way of the story, it still was enough at some points to make uncomfortable. Or sometimes it just threw in the fan service for like no reason other than the sake of having fan service. So, and also the fact that I don't know, I like the characters, but I felt that there weren't enough female characters in the cast, and like the main character especially. Like I hope in season 2, I haven't watched it yet, but I hope that they develop Haru better in season 2 because I just don't find him interesting, right? So I hope that they balance out this inconsistency in Haru.
I think there's only so much they can do because if they change him dramatically, people are going to complain and they're going to lose fans that way. But I think there's a possibility that they could kind of balance them out. I wouldn't say in season 2. They would try to do it in season 2, but then there'll probably be like a free film, like K-On! Got their film, because it can explain things. Because K-On! With their film, I think it was after their graduation, and they had a trip to London, which was pretty awesome, but it was pretty inaccurate as well because London is not like how they showed it in K-On! But anyway, I'm not gonna talk too much about that. But I would like to see a free film where they go to Australia together. That would be cool.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but Free is based off a novel, High Speed, where and from what I've seen, High Speed, what it explains is is basically the cruise time when they were kids, like they explore they develop horror a little bit better, like the thing they didn't do in the anime. That might answer some questions. I don't know where you can read it. I haven't read it myself.
I haven't read it.
But yeah, I think you guys can find it if you put your minds to it.
Of course, well, an internet search could find that. But in terms of, because it is based off a novel, like most of the animes that we do see are based off manga. Like, do you think that kind of affected?
No. The difference with Free is that while the novel develops their childhood, the manga, the anime is almost a completely new story. It's just that it's basing off the characters, on the novel. It's like based on the work, but it doesn't closely follow like.
So it's like inspired.
I think inspire is the right word because one piece of media goes into one part of their life and then the anime goes into another. Like it's almost as they're different stories basically.
So to wrap this up, remember guys, you can go and watch the second season of Free because that is out already. It's being simulcast currently on Crunchyroll, so you can go and purchase yourself a Crunchyroll subscription. I think they also have a free trials as well, but go and check first. And also you can go watch the previous season, catch up on it on Crunchyroll as well. Of course, other services are available. And yeah, Kevin, do you want to announce what the next discussion episode is going to be about?
All right. So next episode of Get a Life Podcast Kunai will be about Blast of Tempest, or Zetsun no Tempest.
Awesome. So how many episodes is that?
That is 24 episodes in total.
Guys, and remember, if you guys want to submit your suggestions for Get a Life Podcast Kunai, please tweet us at using the hashtag GLAP Kunai, and we read it.
We should tell them our Twitter handles in case they didn't watch.
You can go for all podcast related stuff, whether it may be Get a Life Podcast, the original gaming podcast, or Get a Life Podcast Germany, Get a Life Podcast France, or Get a Life Podcast Kunai. Then please, by all means, follow me on Twitter at Get a Life Podcast. It's that simple, and you pretty much get all the updates from me. Yeah, you can also follow these two.
You can follow me at Kanae. That's KNNAYE _. Please don't put at Kanae because that's not me. That's an account that someone that it didn't use since 2009. But I'm at Kanae _. Yeah.
My Twitter handle is at the Tempest Phoenix. So the Tempest spelled normally with a capital in front of each word, and Phoenix is kind of spelled the way it's FENIX. So yeah, Tempest Phoenix on Twitter.
By the way, capital letters don't really matter on Twitter.
It's the preference. I just don't.
So you want everyone to tweet you with the capital letters involved?
But don't you feel like, especially with Get a Life Podcast, like, I mean, your Twitter handle is supposed to be spelled with capital letters separating every word.
Really, I've seen people that I don't really care. It's like, as long as you guys are tweeting to me, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, there's no capital letters. I'm gonna like mute this guy and.
I'm not gonna freak out about it. It's just like I have this inner OCD about it that I prefer that you respect the conventions. You don't have to, you know.
And remember, you can tweet all your Rule 63 on free to @the Tempest Phoenix. You can do that.
You can do that because Tyson, of course, is the director of fanfics, and now what are you? What are you, Kevin?
I guess
director of Rule 63.
Oh god.
We need it to be more. You guys can decide what Kevin is on Twitter.
You can.
We'll let you guys decide what his official title is.
Yeah, you can also use the hashtag GapKunai to do that as well.
Use that hashtag for everything. We'll see it, and hopefully, if people actually make any suggestions, we will announce what his official title is for the next episode. But it's nice that we've already seen a couple of people responding and using that hashtag and giving us suggestions, and we are trying to work out, because some of you guys' suggestions are good, but they are really long-running series, so we're gonna have to work out how we're gonna do that if we are gonna even do a long-running series. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Get a Life Podcast Kunai. Woohoo!
Yeah,
alright.
This is Chie Tanaka, and you've been listening to Get a Life Podcast. I hope that means you got a life. Besides, you gotta eat more meat!